Hi everyone, let's proceed to this topic, fallacies. And by the way, do you know that heuristic and fallacies are often studied together? It's because they go hand in hand. And the application of heuristic to make a decision may lead to fallacies in thinking. So first is Gambler's fallacy. So Gambler's fallacy is a mistaken belief that the probability of a given random event, such as winning or losing at a game of chance, is influenced by previous random event. For example, if a gambler loses 5 successive bets, he or she may believe that a win is therefore in the 6th time. But the truth is, each bet is an independent event that has an equal probability of winning or losing. Or to make it more understandable, so people often mistakenly believe in the gambler's fallacy. They think that if they have been unlucky in their gambles, it is time for their luck to change. In fact, success or failure in past gambles has no effect on the likelihood of success in future ones. So that is the gambler's fallacy. A tendency opposite to that of gambler's fallacy is called the hot hand effect. So what is the hot hand effect? It refers to a belief that a certain course of events will continue. So for example, or apparently, both professional and amateur basketball players, even their fans, believe that a player's chance of making a basket are greater after making a previous shot than after missing one. But however, the statistical likelihoods and the actual record of players show no such tendency. So, in other words, if a basketball player has made 3 consecutive shots, for example, we may believe he has a greater chance of making the 4th than is actually likely. Before we know the definition of conjunction fallacy, do you remember the experiment described in the section in the availability heuristic where people were asked to judge how often the form appears in a passage? The availability heuristic might lead to the conjunction fallacy. In the conjunction fallacy, individual gives a higher estimate for a subset of events than for a larger set of events containing the given subset. The representative heuristic may also include individuals to engage in the conjunction fallacy during probabilistic reasoning. Like for this example, Tversky and Kahneman, who asked this question to the college students. So first, what percentage of the men surveyed have had one or more heart attacks? And second, what percentage of the men surveyed both are over 55 years old and have had one or more heart attacks? So the mean estimates were 18% for the former and 30% for the latter. In fact, 65% of the respondents gave higher estimates for the latter, which is clearly a subset of the former. However, people do not always engage in the conjunction fallacy. An error in judgment that is quite common in people's thinking is the sunk cost fallacy. So it represents the decision to continue to invest in something simply because one has invested in it before and one hopes to recover one's investment. For example, you have bought a car. You already have invested thousands of dollars in getting it fixed. Now you have another major repair on it confronting you. You think about how much money you have spent on repairs and reason that you need to do the additional repair to justify past amounts already spent. So you do the repair rather than buy a new car. So in this situation, you have committed the sunk cost fallacy. So again, these are the fallacies that has been discussed in this book, the gambler's fallacy and hot hand effect. Second is the conjunction fallacy, and third is the sunk cost fallacy. Next topic will be the opportunity cost. So, opportunity cost are the prices paid for availing oneself of certain opportunities. Taking opportunity cost into account is important when judgments are made. So for example, suppose you see a great job offer in San Francisco. and you always wanted to live there. You are ready to take it, but before you do, you need to ask yourself a question. What other things will I have to forgo to take advantage of this opportunity? So an example might be the chance to live in a place where you probably do not have to worry about earthquakes and other things. And we need to consider that anytime you take an advantage of an opportunity, there are opportunity costs. And lastly, they may in some cases make what looked like a good opportunity look like not such a great opportunity at all. Naturalistic decision making. Many researchers contend that decision making is a complex process that cannot reproduce adequately in the laboratory because real decisions are frequently made in situations where there are high stakes. For instance, the mental state and cognitive pressure experienced by an emergency room doctor encountering a patient is difficult to reproduce outside a clinical setting. So much of the research completed in this area is from professional settings such as hospitals or nuclear plants. These situations share a number of features, including challenges of ill-structured problems, changing situation, high risk, time pressure, and sometimes a team environment. So, number of models are used to explain performance in this high-stakes situation. For instance, Serrano developed recommendation for training astronauts to be successful decision makers by evaluating what makes current astronauts successful, such as developing team cohesion and managing stress. So naturalistic decision making can be applied to a broad range of behaviors and environment. This can include individuals as diverse as badminton players, railroad controllers, and NASA astronauts. That's all. Thank you for listening.